Welcome to Family Art Lab. Today we are going to take a look at the work by Georgia O'Keeffe. Georgia O'Keeffe was an American modernist painter and draftswoman whose career spanned 7 decades. O'Keeffe gained international recognition for her meticulous paintings of natural forms, particularly flowers and desert-inspired landscapes, which often were drawn from and related to places and environments which she lived. She moved full-time to the Southwest in 1946, where she spent the next 40 years at her home and her studio creating art. Her works are in collections of several museums, and following her death, Georgia O'Keeffe Museum was established in Santa Fe. Today, we are going to take a look at one of her works, Pink Moon Over Water. Our first step will be to grab our pencil and use it to lightly sketch on our canvas. We're just doing the major shapes of the painting. Now that we have our image sketched out, we're going to start painting. So on my little tinfoil palette, I'm going to start with some white and some blue, and I'm going to mix some blue paint into the white to get the shade of blue I want for my sky. So once I get the proper shade, I'm going to just paint in my sky, and I'm going to leave a little white area where the moon is. Next, for the next layer, I am just going to add some more white paint, so it's just a little bit lighter, and blend that out for the next section. For my next layer, I'm going to use a little bit of black paint mixed with a little bit of green and kind of draw a line across the canvas. And I'm going to use my brush to feather the paint downwards. Now that I kind of have a distinct line of the dark black and green mixed together, I'm going to add a little bit of blue and green to my brush and mix that in with the black layer. This is just going to give a little bit of a shadow on the top, and then we're going to kind of lighten up again as we go down. Now I'm adding a little bit more blue to my brush and doing the next layer. I haven't cleaned out my brush, and that's fine because all of these colors get blended together to make the different shades we want. So I'm fine with not cleaning off my brush for each use. For my next layer, again, I'm going to go with some black paint and then brush it downwards to kind of feather that into some green that I'm going to be adding next. So after I have the black line mixed in, I'm going to add green to my brush and add the green paint. Now that I have the green layered in, I'm going to get it a little bit lighter by adding some white into it. So it kind of goes from like a dark black into a dark green into a lighter green. I am also going to add a little bit of blue in there just to get a shade that I like. Remember, this is your painting, so the shades of colors don't need to be exact as the example. So do what you like. After I have my different colors in, I'm going to use my brush to mix them all together. And then I'm going to start on a really light layer of white mixed with a little bit of green. To my light layer, I'm going to add a little bit of shadows. So I'm going to use like a tiny bit of black mixed with some green. And then because I want to, I'm going to add a little bit of blue to that as well. I think I would like to add a little bit more white to kind of separate the layers here. So I'm going to go in with a smaller brush and just add a little bit of white and then blend it out. Now for the bottom layer, I'm going to use a larger brush and add a lot of white to the bottom. Then I'll go through and mix it with the layer above so it'll get a little bit of green mixed in with it. While the white paint is still wet, add any amount of green or blue that you like here until you get the shade and shadows that you like. Now that the main body of my painting is complete, I'm going to go back and work on the moon. So I'm going to take some white paint and add red to it until I get the shade that I like, and then fill in my moon, my circle there. Then I'm going to use that same pink and add a little bit of highlight just below the moon, kind of above the first layer. If you think it's too pink, you can go back and add some blue to it. Just make it how you like it. The last step is just to let your painting dry. Thank you for joining us today for Family Art Lab, and we'll see you next time.